Hello, From fans. It's the movie guru, and we are 7 days away from the premiere of From on September 22nd. And when the premiere happens next Sunday, we get to find out what is going on in season 3 and see if our theories were correct. What is Victor looking for? What is going on with Fatima? And of course, who is on the phone?
Hello?
From premieres on September 22nd. And before the series starts, if you guys are looking for any From merch, please check out my Spreadshirt page. I'll put the link below. Now, the official movie or show listing has been released. We're going to get 10 episodes. The first episode premiering on September 22nd is called When We Go. Then episode 2, Mouse Trap. Now, usually season 6 is when we see a lot of the penultimate episodes, and that's titled These Fragile Lives. So let's see how this plays out. Now, I did put my theories together to see who was going to die in what order, and I think episode 1, sorry everybody, we're going to get the biggest loss, which is the death of Kenny's mom, Tien Chen. So stay tuned for my live after the show and my episode 1 breakdown on September 22nd. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down Fatima, last seen missing on February 28th, 2021, traveling from Boulder, Colorado towards Portland, Oregon. Now, the character is played by the beautiful Pega Gofori. And what I think is going on with Fatima is that Fatima is a Windigo. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but, she's always had some sort of spiritual connection to the show. And she's always sort of had this higher purpose when her character was kind of just lingering around in season 2. And I think we can all confirm from the season 3 trailer that something weird is going on with her. Her teeth are falling out, and also we see her, from what I think, standing by this big pile of rotten food that she's not eating, and I think she's going to eat it. Now, it's not a myth that women eat more during their pregnancy, especially in the second and third trimesters. But the only other option is that she's possessed. It could be a possibility. The internet has been putting together a lot of videos trying to connect it, and we'll have to see. So I've seen enough movies to know that when a person has a taste or hunger for rotted food, that means they're either possessed by a Windigo. And I believe that Fatima is a Windigo. So a Windigo, what is it? It's a cannibalistic monster from the folklore of the Algonquin-speaking tribes in North America. The Windigo is often depicted as a malevolent spirit or beast that stalks and eats humans, or as a spirit that possesses humans and turns them into cannibals, which is what I believe is happening with Fatima. Now, Windigo is associated with winter, and just similarly on the show, it is winter now in From. Now, it stalks and eats humans, right? So what else does that sound like? It's just like the creatures on the show. Now, before you dismiss this theory like any other aliens or any other crazy theory, yes, humans can turn into Windigos. It's been done in a ton of other films, mostly seen in Antlers and The Ritual, if you're familiar with it. And they sort of do this turn and possession through what it's been described as from greed, being overly greedy, from already engaging in cannibalistic activities. And I know there's been some cannibal theories out there, or from the one I think it is, which is being possessed. Now, possession happens when an evil spirit enters a person through a dream, right? And we've been seeing a ton of things going on with dreams in season 2, causing the person to become cannibalistic, violent, or deranged. Now, from the trailer, I wouldn't say Fatima is violent or deranged yet, but from the clips and seeing her possible eating habits, she could later become cannibalistic. It could happen. Now, if Fatima is possessed, keyword if, I believe that it would be from whoever this Asian kimono Banshee is. And the title of the character in IMDb is listed as Banshee. And fans on Facebook and Reddit seem to have believed that the kimono is the same shirt that Fatima had on at her birthday party at the Colony House. Now, I'm not necessarily sold that this woman and Fatima is the same because we haven't seen the entity go after Fatima unless it already possessed her or she came into from with the possession. Now, so far in the series, it only appeared to Elgin, but since we never saw Fatima and it in the same room, I guess we can't deny the fact that they could be the same person. Now, I did figure that since it appears in the colony house, while a talisman is inside and preferably up by the door, it has to be someone inside the colony house that is either causing this vision or is this vision itself. The top three suspects would have to be Donna first, Elgin himself, or Fatima. It has to be, because all the other creatures or entities cannot enter any space with a talisman by the door. And I'm guessing it works both ways. It keeps them out if they're out, but if they're in, it keeps them in. So if you're not familiar with Fatima and her backstory, I do believe that her situations that happened before she came to Fromville play a role in possibly what enabled her to be possessed. And so in this story where they're sitting by the Brundles, yes, everybody, that is the Brundles, and they're talking to Julie, and she's basically telling her backstory, how she grew up with her mom, dad, and her brothers in Iran, and he was a preacher, and it was her birthday, and it was starting off like any other great birthday would, family around a table, and then a knock at the door, and two guys showed up, and they were really angry. They dragged her father outside, pretty much executed him in front of the whole family, right? And so that is a tragic backstory, and I believe that is what is going to come full circle and play a role in Fatima becoming possessed, becoming violent, and possibly becoming, this Windigo. Now, another connection could be Boyd was in the military, and so was Abby, and it could be a possibility that some of the people who dragged her father out could have been either Abby or the platoon Abby was in, or it could have been Boyd or the platoon that Boyd was in. And how crazy would that be for her to marry the son of pretty much the person or family that was responsible for her father's death? Now, that is something that could happen, because she didn't say if the people that dragged him out were soldiers or if they were other people from Iran. She didn't really get into those specifics, but it could be. So, of course, I would definitely love to hear what you guys think about that part. Now, does Fatima have a higher purpose? Season 2, her story was kind of flat, but knowing writer techniques, when we see a character go through a great struggle full of challenge, they find assistance through a helper, then go through a transformation to atonement and return through a gift of goodness from a goddess. So this gift is the final test of the talent of the hero to win this love, charity, amour, or fati, as they say, which is life itself enjoyed as the encasement of eternity. So it kind of gets deep, right? And I bring all this up because we already know Fatima has some spiritual connection, right? Firstly, in her name, there's something called the wisdom of Fatima that is related to Our Lady Fatima. Now, interestingly enough, I came upon this by accident, right? There's a Catholic lore of a version named Our Lady of Fatima, where children encountered an apparition of the Virgin Mary in Portugal. Now, the Our Lady Fatima is now recognized as another name for Mother Mary. And that's how I kind of knew before Fatima was pregnant that she was going to get pregnant. Plus, I could tell from the relationship that she had with Ellis. Now, I was also trying to confirm Ellis's age. I believe Ellis is like 16, and I think Fatima might be like 22. I honestly do. And I would definitely like some confirmation around how old Ellis is, right? We don't know. Now, also, I came across some information that the kimono woman could be what they call La Llorona. Now, La Llorona is a vengeful ghost or spirit from Mexican folklore who is said to haunt bodies of water and lament her deceased children, right? So it could be Fatima from the future in this form as La Llorona. And, the lady drowned her children, and then she roams around killing the children she finds. I guess it's very popular in the Southwest, and people tell that story when the kids go out to play so they don't venture too far away. Now, Fatima is right by the Brundles, and we see this connection with it, right? There's been clips where she said people have obsessed over this thing, or the water was calling out to some people, just not everybody could hear. And then also when Elgin came to town, the first thing he asked Fatima was, "Where is water?" Right? Now that does connect, and so that could possibly be why we see Elgin have the connection to the water, and the vision that he's seeing could be La Llorona. We don't know. So now, what does any of this mean? I honestly don't know. But I do believe that there will come a point in season 3 where we will find out what is Fatima's fate and if the baby will survive or be some sort of basket case creature, half human type of thing. And I believe that Ellis will have a decision to make about Fatima, and that decision is whether to save Fatima or save the baby. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just want to send a reminder that if you're looking for From merch, please check out my Spreadshirt page. I'll put the link in the bio. And of course, as always, I would love to discuss with you guys in the comments to let me know what you guys think is going to happen to Fatima. Is she possessed? Is she going to turn into some creature? Is she going to become a cannibal? Or is she going to be just fine and live a life happily ever after, either in From or outside of From with Ellis? I'm the Movie Guru, and I will catch you on my next video, as well as the premiere on September 22nd. So make sure you follow, and make sure you follow.